want to talk about the creative power of intention. And that's an interesting word, interesting word. You know, I break up words. You start pronouncing words in a different way and apart. You begin to understand, or know, you don't have to understand any, you will inner know what you're actually manifesting, because thoughts are things, words are sounds, and that light and that electricity, that energy that we emit, because we're self-effulgent, the being that we are. And then it carries through the dimensions, and it will then express as electricity in this dimension, because we emanate divine light. So the power, the creative power of intention is, you can be tense, and that's kind of the idea, is to keep everyone in tension, in fear of death, lack, loss, you know, love, everything that you could ever think that you need when you are pleasure itself. That's who you are. Remember the secret. The great secret was to deny you your own divinity, your godliness, with all your abilities and qualities and nature and such. Creativity is one of them. Yes, one of them. So anyway, this other intention is, what do you intend to prove? What do you intend to do? Like, say, oftentimes you know the purpose of a relationship at the end, because it was a game. It was like, the end could be, well, after all I did, I was the one that gave and you never gave. You took advantage of me. Really? Was that was the game? That was a game. Right. So the other person probably is thinking the same thing and saying the same thing, because remember, the one game everybody's playing is victim, victimizer, perpetrator, and savior. So this is a mind, and the people who are thinking beings instead of heartfelt feeling beings are manufacturing problems so that the mind continues to exist, because we give the power to the mind and the thoughts. And what you could do to shift so many aspects of your life into a more divine way is, you look to see, what is my intention? What's the game that I play? What's my payoff? Because often, as a counselor and teacher that I am, mentor, I feel so honored that people can actually reveal and share where they are and what they want, and we find and get rid of the obstacles and that sort of thing. But when you're tuned in and you can listen, you can hear, and you're around people and present, and you say, a lot of people have the same problem all the time. And then when you get to that, you say, there's a core belief there. There's a relentless game going on. And if you pause, say before you make a phone call or before you have a meeting, take a look. What's your intention for it? Is it to feel bad that you didn't even get invited for the holidays? See, there's a whole lot of stuff coming up. A lot of times when it comes around time, when special events, you know, holidays, birthdays, all these kind of things, then people get sentimental. And then they start feeling bad and sad because of the way it was, and who's gone, who used to be here, and good, and nobody invited you. If you invited, you probably wouldn't go anyway. You didn't get a big enough gift. You didn't give a gift. It's all of this to make you feel guilty, afraid, lack of love, producing, buying thing. Remember, Bishop, buy and shop. Yeah. So it keeps your intention out there just to keep running after happiness, when you better just stop, because you are happiness. That's who you are. And when you look at what your intention, what do you really want to accomplish here, you stop spinning your wheels. You go, do I really want to do that? Because you are a divine being with all these creative powers. And the intention is like, when you commit to your vision, when you commit to the work that you choose to be doing, and I call that a creative work, when you commit to being all that you are as a person, and finding that out and being that, and you commit to going beyond the virtual reality, going beyond the limited construct, going beyond constructs, because you're the constructor, you see. And at that place, then consciously and deliberately intending. Do you intend to make everybody feel guilty because they haven't come to see you? They haven't called? Really? Are they supposed to, is that their job? To now maintain you? What are you doing? Have a life. Create a new family. Create some people who want to be with you. You want to be with other people. Have a party. Call the neighbors. Meditate. Take it as a time to go deep. Because you got a little vacation time. Get a little house. Go by yourself. Or go with a friend who also wants to be by alone so you can share. But you can also go be by yourself. If you got to, maybe you can't go cold turkey maybe right away. But you want to work towards it. And then the boring thing, we don't want to be bored because we want infinite variety. But this is also a limited construct. And the real place is, and it's an interesting thing, as I work on my now and going deep into my being with my God, it's silent, because God speaks to us in silence, not the still small voice. That's the other person who's ever talking to you using your voice. It's very interesting. But oh my goodness, that when you choose the real voice, oftentimes you're just there in silence. You start to get bored. You're bored with yourself because you have to get past the boredom. And that's why the very simple thing to be in the now will transform every single aspect of your life. Everything. Move beyond the games, move beyond the virtual reality, everything. But why will people want to do it? There's a lot of things I do when people come to retreats or I'm working with. We just do that. Because you're going to make a habit of it. And you have to get past the times when you're just bored, you can't do it any longer. We do it a little bit at a time, and then a little bit at a time, and a little bit at a time. You see, and when you do that, you're going to break through that, let's call it the glass ceiling. Interesting, huh? And when you know what your intention is, then in each moment of how you want to be with people, when you're not being that way, you go, oh, my intention was, what was I going through? And usually it's the false ego. I want to be right, make other people wrong, ridicule them, laugh at them, call them names, all of these kind of things. And you're not doing your own work. It's all diversion, distraction. Keep you out here, going like da. Yeah, go with it. So, in it, before a meeting, what's your intention? Calm down, breathe, get centered. How do you want it to go? Good for all. You want always, see, a real human is always working for the good of all. Yeah, so that's your intention. So make some basic intentions about who you are, what you're about. And at the same time, make sure you're also flexible in that, because the very thing you think was a mistake was actually what needed to be for you to take that right turn to avoid this, to do that. Don't worry about it. It's beyond you. I call it divine magic. It's the divine. It's the beauty. Yeah. So make your intention, whatever that you desire, make that commitment within yourself. Yeah. That's how it works.